Hey, happy Monday to you and happy first day of May. Hope you're doing well. Heads up, I want to apologize to you. As I was working on the computer here before hopping on here, my throat's acting up. So I'm actually starting to clear my throat here. I got a little Ricola in my throat, my mouth here. So hopefully it's going to help out, but I might be clearing my throat quite a bit here. So my apologies for that. And I know it picks up on the microphone. But anyways, hope you had yourself a great weekend, which is actually be the topic of today's video. Because last night I was covering, well, okay, what am I going to talk about today? And I said, okay, do that introduction. I was going to talk about my weekend, but the more I reflected on it, the more I talked about it, I go, well, the weekend's a bit of a topic. So, was your weekend good for you? Good for your spiritual health? Because last night, as I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, I want to talk about my weekend a little bit, kind of cover it and what I garnered from it. I started going through more and more details, like, okay, this is actually spiritual. This is spiritual health, all three elements. If you're new here, we talk about spiritual health. We got body, mind, and spirit, balancing the triad. And spirit is broken down to personal spirituality, your connection to yourself, communal spirituality, those around you, and environmental spirituality, which is your environment, nature, and if you choose to, in a holy, your belief in a higher power. And yeah, I covered all those this weekend. So as I think I mentioned in my last video, I was going to head into a horse show. So what I ended up doing is I took the motorcycle down. It's about a 119, 120 mile ride. So as I was going down, I had some, especially when there wasn't much traffic, I was able to get some going to myself, which was actually personal spirituality. I had a chance to connect. I did some thoughts in my head. I was able to have sometimes a conversation with myself, figure out some direction I was going to, what I need to work on. And so I was going with that. Plus, on a motorcycle, you are in the environment. You're part of it. In a car, you're kind of sitting separated from it. But in a motorcycle, you are part of it. You feel the temperature changes. You feel everything that comes up. You're part of the environment. So I was a little bit of my environmental spirituality, going through, connected, moving through. And then the communal part was I get to talk to the people this weekend. So when I get down to the horse show, I get to see a lot of these people. I get to see them at least on social media, and some of them I get to message them. Sometimes I reply back, so I get to connect with them that way. But a lot of them I haven't seen since that show last year. And a couple of them, it's been a few years. But with social media, it's great to keep in contact with people, even though you get to see them in person. But it's still special to see them in person, to have a handshake or a hug, and to see them in the eye. I get to have a lot of some conversations, which is, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Other ones were 30-minute plus conversations. I also got to, for those of you that may not know, part of my background is I've done therapeutic work at the horse shows, which I therapeutic work for horse and rider. So I use a combination of massage techniques as well as energy work. If you happen to be interested in that, you'll see find more information on my website at davidalmo.com, which are those offered, some of those, which is where I can offer those services. But when I'm at a horse show like that, I get to wander around and visit with old friends. And then I also offer my services for those interested. So I probably worked on 8 or 9 people over the weekend. So hopefully they benefit from it. But yeah, it was a great time to go through and have the conversations, visiting with people, having that face-to-face interaction. So that was part of communal spirituality. I get to have there. Spent I think I got there just before noon, so about 11:40 or so, something like that. And I didn't leave till just after 11 o'clock. So that was a real great time. I had a fun. I always have fun, especially that type of show, that cutting show there. It's always a great time there. Now I was going to plan on coming back home, another 2+ hour drive, but and an uncle, I was trying to visit with them in the morning before the horse show, but things are going to work out. But they offered me to stay the night, so I said, "Yeah, I'll take you up on the offer." So just a 30-minute drive. So I got to visit with them, which was them because I was looking forward to it. I remember packing up the night before, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And so I got to their place a little before midnight, and we talked. And after a while, I go, it's 1 o'clock. So we got to visit for at least about an hour. Got to bed and got to visit with them a little bit in the morning because they had something to do. And then I got to take the motorcycle ride back. But it was last night. I felt pretty good when I got home. I mean, I felt kind of nice. The weather happened to be great for the motorcycle because I had my layers on. Saying just before I got to the equestrian facilities, when it started getting a little too warm for the layers I had on, but it was okay. And same thing coming home. It was probably about 15, 20 minutes from home where the temperature started getting a little bit and the wind started picking up. But other than that, it was fine. And I said other than being tired, you got the riding the motorcycle there. So yesterday afternoon, I started getting to the point to where I was feeling a little nauseous because if I get very tired, I get nauseous. So I had to lay down for a while. But yeah, again, when reflecting last night, it's like, I just felt real kind of good yesterday afternoon. And it's like, what is it? And I didn't dawn on me At least I wasn't consciously aware of it until I was getting prepared for today's video. It's like, oh, I worked on my spiritual awareness or my health. So have you happened to do that, or you did something you enjoy? Which for me, I enjoy riding the motorcycle, and the weather was great. Everything worked fine. Wasn't a whole lot of crazy traffic. I got to visit with friends. I got to visit with family. Had great connections there. Even if some of them was just like, again, some of the friends there, just like, hey, how you doing? I got to see him in person, even though we communicated virtually or online messages. But to see him in person, actually look into the eyes, say, hi, how you doing? Give a handshake and or a hug. It was great. So have you done that for yourself? Have you gone through and just visited with friends, maybe gone for a Sunday drive, just gone for a nice little drive and had some fun, went to an event? Maybe it simply is just a farmer's market. You get to walk around, be outside, get the connection there, maybe see some friends, and then come back home. You're feeling pretty good and you're not consciously aware of it. So it's one of the ways you can work on your spiritual health, because again, if you heard me talk quite a bit in here, spiritual health sometimes is the missing component for a lot of people. They can work on eating right, exercising, and getting the rest, and they can also work on their mind, being aware of what's being put inside, work on their analytical mind, logical mind. They can work on the creativity, but sometimes spirituality, sometimes people think it's just religion. It's much more than that. Some people use religion for that, but spirituality is beyond that. And sometimes it is simply having a good weekend. Like for me, it was the motorcycle ride and visiting with the people at the horse show and my family. And it's something I wasn't necessarily consciously aware of. If you were to ask me, what are some ways you can do spiritual, I might have listed those, but experience them all together and just be part of your weekend, just be part of your day, and then reflect back and go, oh, that's pretty cool. So I had a great time. I had a wonderful visit with my aunt and uncle, which long overdue. And again, all the friends and those, and plus for me, being of service, using my skills. I'll wander around all day working on people for free. I enjoy it that much. So I got to work with 8 or 9 people. So I had a good time. So that filled me up as well. That's part of my personal spirituality, is my connection, is I like using my gifts, my skills for service of others. So I had a blast with that. But anyways, that was I just want to share back my weekend. Hopefully you can reflect it to yours and realize sometimes you've gone through and you're feeling pretty good afterwards. You don't quite understand what happened, other than, hey, I visited with friends. I maybe went for a ride or something like that there. I went for a bicycle ride and you're not quite for sure. That might be what it is. You worked on your spiritual health and it was actually really good for you. So that's just want to share with you. So anyways, if you want anything else from me, you'll find my Facebook group, my Facebook page. You also got my YouTube, Instagram. You got all the channels there where you find any of these past videos on there. Any topics you're interested in, let me know those in the comments, and let me know how your weekend was. Did you actually work on your spiritual health that you weren't aware of? Have yourself a great start to the week, great start to month of May, and I will catch you on Wednesday. So take care and balancing to you.